I did enjoy my time spent with Shrine of Amana in vanilla. Almost every encounter in vanilla Shrine of Amana is just a woman that shoots at you, a creepy water monster man who tries to assault you, and then maybe one more enemy. It's usually a 1v2 or 1v3. Very rarely are there ever two women shooting you at the same time, which is something that Scholar's Shrine of Amana did way too much, and it was just really infuriating when multiple people would be shooting you at once all of the time. There's enemy spam everywhere in Scholar. Now I know how all of this sounds. Basically all my praise so far has been, look, all the enemies are gone. Scholar of the First Sin Shrine of Amana makes me feel like I'm back in Nam, dodging bullets as the commies chase me down with sticks.
Feeble King claims that there's less priestesses shooting at you in vanilla, and that the last part of the second bonfire is harder in Scholar. So let's start by looking at how that part plays out in vanilla. There's already two priestesses shooting at you. As soon as you want to deal with this priestess, the next set of two priestesses start shooting at you. When you attack her, the two Archdrake Pilgrims run towards you. Now let's look at how this part plays out in Scholar. In vanilla, this pilgrim used to immediately aggro with a priestess shooting at you. Here in Scholar, it's just him all alone. Now there's a single priestess shooting at you. He presented this part as being worse in Scholar, but in reality there's more priestesses shooting at you at the same time in vanilla. For this one, it's even possible to sneak up on him.
I will also say that the Shrine of Amana boss run is still a bit on the crap side even in vanilla.
He argues that the boss run is still bad even in vanilla, but in reality the vanilla boss run just had more enemies shooting at you than Scholar. There's two priestesses in the middle shooting at you, and then the one on the path. In Scholar, the priestess from the middle got moved way further back, so she no longer shoots at you during the run back. This path is a lot more relaxed. He falsely presented the run back as being worse in Scholar. I'm not denying that vanilla is easier right next to this bonfire. It's really just empty here. But starting from here, and especially after the hut at the midway point, vanilla ramps up the difficulty. Notice how the ogre is already aggroing, even though I didn't leave the path. In Scholar, the beginning of the second bonfire really is harder, but if you die it's a little bit of progress you are losing. In Vanilla, the end of this part was harder, so you would die more often close to the next bonfire and would lose a lot of progress. You might die a couple of times here, but it's right next to the bonfire. In Scholar, the ogre only aggroes if you leave the marked path and get closer to him. Another factor is also the range of the Amana priestesses. Vanilla aggro range starts here. In Scholar, it got reduced from 40 units down to 30, so if you use a ranged weapon it's now easier to take care of them. Every class, except for the sorcerer, can use the light crossbow. With a range of 35 units, it is right outside of the aggro range in Scholar, but below the aggro range in Vanilla, where you might have to use a soul vessel to level up your dexterity for the hunter's blackbow. With a ranged weapon, this first half in Scholar isn't hard. Being able to shoot first is a huge bonus. The pillars also offer great protection. Also, the Dragon Rider here is a good way to get the player to notice that there is a bridge with a locked door. It highlights the importance and makes it more likely that you will come back later. The second half is trivially easy with a ranged weapon. There is just this one priestess you have to defeat. In vanilla, this melee enemy is placed in a more annoying position. With a ranged weapon, I've never died here in Scholar, but in vanilla even a ranged weapon doesn't help much. In vanilla, this part is just so much more stressful due to the open space with multiple priestesses that have such a large aggro range. I also feel like this ambush at the very beginning in vanilla feels worse than in Scholar. So to summarize, he once again falsely presented parts that are actually worse in vanilla as being worse in Scholar.